Sir, we may have an orc problem. I found this the other day and I knew I had to try it. I actually posted a link to it on Discord when I found it. Alright, I'm going to need a second. I do have a couple unexpected problems, which are why we're a little bit late. One of which is chat is probably not going to be working. Because although the game has a full screen button, it doesn't actually make the game stop being full screen. It does something. It adds the, it doesn't stop being full screen, basically, is the problem. It's still full screen, and no matter what I tried to do, I just couldn't. So, chat today will be on my phone. I will take a second to find the stream. And once I do, there we go. And make sure I don't have to listen to my own echo. Okay, I can see chat there. But yeah, chat's probably not gonna work on, can't help it. Alright, I've posted the link to Discord. I guess we're ready to get started. There you go. That goes there. New game! Alright, so it's a tower defense. I don't know, there's probably been other games like this, but this is my first time playing one that's like this. You can just put the towers anywhere. Alright. Left click shoots missiles. It actually kind of feels a little bit like an idle game almost. But absolutely not at the same time. But I could easily see an idle game version of this, like an endless mode. Alright, anyway. Press space to start the battle. Oh yeah, this is never gonna work. I need some towers, guys. I'm not even killing these. I'm not even. Look how big some of them are. I've got one. Alright, that's not happening. Oh look! Unlock the gunner tower. Shoot bullets. Yes, more DACA. Well, it says that we have an orc problem, but that doesn't mean we couldn't necessarily be orcs ourselves, right? No, probably not. Yes! Alright, our first tower. Gun. Okay. I need to... hold on. How do I... Okay, well, I can scroll around. That's neat. There are 400 orcs waiting for me to tell them to start. But how do I actually rotate this? A lot of things that I click makes it go away. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Okay. Alright, I can put it just anywhere in the ground. Oh, okay. After I place it, then I choose. Well, look at that. Do we want focused fire? Do we want wide fire? God, look at how incredibly... Look at how much control I have over this. And this is just literally the first object we've gotten our hands on. Hey there, Enterprise! The came to pass was the coast denounced Hadriex. Oh no! Whatever have I done? I used to be a huge Wizards of the Coast fan. Back when they were good. I don't think one machine gun is gonna quite be enough to stop the orcs. There might be a few too many of them. Alright, what can we do? Nothing. I can't do anything with this. We need to get better at using the missiles, I think. All right, if I can use the knockback seems to be throwing them forward. If I can use the knockback to, maybe I should have made the machine gun incredibly narrow with its shots. Then it would be getting more kills. Because I've spread out how wide the shooting is, it's not focused enough. It's my fault I'm not gaining enough gems. Alright, we got options. Bonus resource 2. Oh wait, I only needed to... Oh, okay, 0 of 3. It doesn't cost 3, it costs 1. Oops. Okay, well, there's another misunderstanding. Okay, extra turret. Increased missile damage. Extra hit points. Alright, let's see. Let's get an extra turret. Bonus resources. I can't resist that. If we do one more round, we should actually be able to afford... What is the red ones? I have a second currency. Well, I don't actually have a second currency yet, but there is a second currency. Hello there, Teddy. I don't think it's a Flash game. Not too many people make Flash games anymore. Alright, so... You know what? I'm just going to leave this machine gun like this. I'm going to put the second one, however... I'm going to give it a real narrow focus and hope that that gets me more kills. No, wait. Here. Alright, let me try again. Okay. There. I bet you this will do a little bit better. There you go. Crossfire! Man, the big ones take a lot of... The missiles just don't do shit. We've gone from 3 to 7. I mean, over time, that'll definitely add up. 5%, but that's 30. Screw it, I'll buy one more. Alright, gunfire rate. Yes. Yes! Alright, let me see if I can... Yeah, as I thought, chat won't work when it's full screened like this. Nothing I can do about that. Yeah, it's, I explained at the beginning, that's a lot faster. I explained at the beginning, I just cannot get the game out of full screen. It just won't. It refuses. As I said at the beginning, it kind of feels a bit like an idle game. I could easily imagine an idle game version of it. Alright, let me see. Maximum number of gun towers up. Extra damage. I want 2 more turrets. I just want more DACA. Alright. Now. I'll just put this here. And I'll put that there. Suddenly we're having an effect! They're starting to feel it! They're still gonna kill us. But... we need to unlock more types of turrets. That's what we need. More types of turrets. So that we can start getting creative. Alright, you know what, I'll put a point into missile damage. Ooh, missile radius. I'm not counting on the missiles too much. I think what I need is... Oh, I can't see that. Let's see. Range? Why would you need range? I can't even imagine range mattering. Cannons, golden orcs, flamethrowers, that's what we need. Mortars, explosive orcs, automatic missiles. Okay, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff. We just got to get through this, like, tutorial-looking stage here. Alright. I'm going to take increased fire rate, increased damage. Alright. You know, I didn't weigh the helmet. Enough to be heavy, and you really feel the weight on your head and with your neck. Orcs don't go on the Mirren Plain, silly. They're an Arcanus race. You know, I once had an idea for a story way back called The World Needs More Orcs. Oh man, that was an idea I had like 20 years ago, maybe more. Alright, we should have enough firepower to get past this after this round. I choose attack speed, damage. Simple, boring upgrades, but they'll probably get the job done. Maybe I could put better turret placement. Okay, maybe this isn't enough. Maybe we still lose. Oh dear. Alright, fine. I'll just buy even more attack speed and damage. Alright, look, these things should just be murder now. Is this really helping? I'm scattering the orcs, and I think that's getting more of them through my turrets. Maybe I should shoot them over here instead. That one's real big. See how big some of them get? My missiles suck. Ah, hey, we got a red point. Okay, hold on. What can we buy now? It's gotta be the flamethrowers, right? Set orcs on fire. Not implement. Ah, shit. It's an early access. Not implement. Ah, I can have mortars or I can have cannons. But I want the fire. Alright, fine. Or want mortars? Mortars. I'll take explosion damage, explosion radius. I'll take... Well, let's just have 2 mortars. We've unlocked a new stage! How bad can it be? Oh, there are 2,000 of them. Oh. Well, I have a few different points I can work with. Ooh. The further away, the wider its potential landing sites get, huh? Okay, hold on. Okay. Alright. Like that. I mean, any bullet you fire this way is probably gonna hit an orc. Alright. That's probably a bad spot. No. Maybe that increased range might matter. Alright, we'll put one here at the finish line. Alright, I'll put one... Yeah, I'll just put one here. Once I see how they move and where they stop and stuff like that, I'll be able to place them better. For now, this'll do. Okay, it's the same flavors of orcs. They haven't changed any. Okay. It feels more like a fluid simulator. Honestly. Orc says a fluid. Hey there, Aeon! Ah, well, yes, the worst wizard does do that. Yeah, I can't help it. There's no option to fix the full... Well, there's an option to fix the full screen thing, but it doesn't work. Yeah, we're stuck in full screen. I couldn't figure out how to get out of that. All right, we're going to go back for a second and try to get a perfect clear. Mortars aren't impressing me much yet. Should have gone for the cannons, I suppose. Alright. We'll come back here, see if we can earn something special. Okay. I should take some missile upgrades. That's what I should do next. I haven't been upgrading them. Oh, well, no perfect clear for me. Darn. But it's going to be close to a perfect clear. But it's going to be a better clear than it was. Sadly, there's no speed up option. It looks like a Newgrounds link you just posted. Enterprise? Here, hold on a second. I can... Something... Okay, can I just... Oh, it's Villainous? Oh, I remember Villainous. I liked Villainous. I don't think I ever streamed it. I think I just played it way back. Probably before I was even a streamer. That's an old one. Alright, let me see. Bullet range, more gunners. Wait a minute, that's what I need. Well, yeah, that'd do it. Yeah, 2 more guns. Yeah. Alright, let's increase the missile radius. Oh, missile cooldown. Let's up the missile damage. Alright, we'll win it cleanly this time. We'll just add in... You think you got past my gauntlet, do you? Well... And then I'll add in another one here. Okay, I guarantee nothing's getting through this. Oh, I can actually feel the missiles have a little impact now, too! Yeah, Villainous was a great one. It was a reverse tower defense. It was a long time ago. Back in the days of Flash. So you see, when I give it a wide range, it actually sweeps back and forth. It doesn't aim. It doesn't shoot randomly. It just kind of... Anyway, we got a red cube. Okay, that's a new currency. I have 2 choices. 5% chance that orcs carry explosives that detonate and damage more orcs. Or... I can now... Okay, that's a convenience feature. I think we want the orcs to feel splode. Oh, not yet. Fork. Okay, well, I guess I'll take the auto missile then. Thank you. Yeah, okay. I'll upgrade my missiles a couple more times. Alright, let's get back to level 2. What can I say? The game's still in early access. Alright. 2 extra turrets, though. I don't want it to hit the wall. Alright, let's try this. Okay, so they just kind of... I think I need to upgrade the mortars. I don't think the mortars are doing much. Oh, right, I have rockets now. Right, of course. I spent all those upgrades on it, and then I forgot to use it. Ah, for me, I played Gauntlet on the NES. Gauntlet and Gauntlet 2. I never beat the original Gauntlet. I like the elf. He moved super, super fast, but the wizard was the best. Gauntlet 2, though, I got well past the point where they just kept repeating stages over and over again. When I figured out it was infinite, I was really disappointed. Right, let's try this again with me using missiles from the start. This seems like a good place to do some damage. Alright, 2,000 orcs. Looks like they're getting through. We've deployed over half of the enemies. Looks like I've killed only about 800. Yeah, it ended up at 799. Okay. Well... Mortars. More mortars? Bigger explosions. More mortar damage. Mortar fire rate. Fragments? Fragments. Fragments. Alright, a little bit of everything. Man, there's a lot of features. Well, that's fine. Fragment count or fire rate. Alright, the mortars should be a heck of a lot more deadly now. Let's see what happens when the enemies walk into them. Oh, I can feel the fire rate. Wow. The mortars are definitely having a little bit more of an impact now. Well, this game is free, and it was only released like a few days ago. Like, it just hit early access. We might do Villainous sometime soon. As I said, I expected to do a couple of one-offs while we get the Master of Magic situation figured out. Wings is done with his mod. So, we've got that aspect. He just finished it. So, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna have to settle on that build finally. Do we want bonus resources? Yes. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, what the hell? I'll take the increased bullet range. Maybe an occasional bullet gets an extra hit now. I think that last turret's in a bad place. I should definitely, well, I mean, it's getting kills. When they get past everything else, it gets kills over there. Well, it's not the worst place I could put a turret. They've deployed every single enemy, and we've killed 1.4 thousand. 1.5. We're getting close. I wonder if the next stage they'll bring out vehicles. The red ones go faster, you know. Alright, I've upped the firing rate as high as I can for now. And I'm gonna get another gun. Yeah. Another one! I'm just gonna fire it in a laser thin line. Maybe that was a stupid spot. Nah, it's getting plenty of hits. It's good. Yeah, this is fine. I should really take this one and put it pointing straight down over here. I should just increase the firepower they have to get through out of the gate. Yeah, it's you could play Gauntlet up to 4 players. I used to play it 2-player a lot. It's actually eventually I figured out Gauntlet is harder the more players you have. It's actually becomes more difficult with more players. Sure, you have the extra firepower of a second player, but the drawback, you're constantly losing life in Gauntlet every second, and the other players are getting some of the food. And it just ends up making the game more difficult for, well, for everyone. Alright, looks like I found another fire rate increase. Alright. No, not this one. No. Back to tech tree. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm going to delete you. Alright. We're going to go for the win now. Alright. I'm going to put this here. And then I'm going to put this one here. Alright. No longer do we have a last line of defense to keep us safe. We're all in on destroying them before they get that far. The machine guns are really where the whole game is right now. The mortars are nice, but I mean, they are pretty good. I mean, just watching them delete whole groups of orcs, I mean, that's not bad. No, it's not even about selfishness or coordination. Literally, the game's design, it was an arcade game. It wanted to eat your quarters. And if one player's playing, other players might want to join in. So it wants to keep one player alive, and but then constantly kill, so that you eat more quarters. As I said, no matter what you do in Gauntlet, your life is constantly ticking down, and the only way to restore it is to get food. But there's only so many food in a level. So you're being single player, you can get all the food, which makes it a lot easier to stay alive. It's that mechanic of constantly losing health that's the problem. Yeah. Also, if somebody plays the warrior in the original Gauntlet, they move incredibly slowly. And although the warrior is absolutely amazing, that slow movement is actually crippling as a weakness. We are so close to victory. I'm going to up the mortars this time. I'll take an extra mortar. I think I'll take bigger explosions, more damage, and I'll take another fragment. I'm not sure how much the fragments really matter, all things considered, but alright, you know what we're going to do this time? We're going to put the first mortar right here. This should actually feel pretty good. Yeah, the wizard's probably the best. He's the weakest in Gauntlet, but he has good attack power. And then potions. Potions are actually important. They're the only way to kill the Grim Reaper. That's their most important function. But they're useful, and the wizard is really, really good with them. Yeah. Also in Gauntlet 2, they the elf lost his ridiculous speed. Like, they cut out a lot of the cool stuff. I think are we gonna perfect this? Holy shit. Well, those mortar upgrades really made a difference. Oh, wait, no, almost got through. Oh! All right, we have resources. What do we want to buy? Well, a divination license? You don't need a divination license. You just need to predict where the agents are and then don't go there. They'll never catch you. Alright, so, I don't know what to do with the square. Okay, I guess I'll put the square here. Alright, that's fine. I'm gonna take the cannon towers, I guess. I guess I'm gonna put all the upgrades into the cannons. More cannons. Cannon damage. Cannon penetration! Alright. Cannons. Well, who doesn't like cannons? Oh shit, they're coming from multiple directions. I mean, I can't act surprised. It's tower defense rules, right? Ah, jeez. Shit, I can't just put all my guns on a choke point anymore. I have to test the new cannons. Oh, it's 8,000, is that all? Oh shit, this map is way bigger than the previous ones, too. Alright, I'm gonna put one of these here. I'm gonna put one of this here. You know what? I'm gonna put one of this here. Alright, I'm gonna do this. 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 I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put this one here. And I'm gonna put this one there. That was pretty badly placed. A bunch of them are badly placed. I don't care. Because what I really want to see is the cannons. Alright. Impress me. Oh, it's a lot. They shoot kind of slow. But they pierce through multiple enemies. And they seem to push the enemy and hit pretty hard. Well, even with every single turret I have on one lane, they get through that lane. Yeah, that's a pretty bad sign, honestly. Now all the orcs have to come through here. So I could try to build defenses here at the end, but it's too wide for that. It's much too wide. Oh, geez, what are we gonna do? Oh, yeah. I haven't played the Ultima series, but I watched Spoonie's reviews of every single game in it. He used to make good stuff. Remember his FF10 review? Yeah, I miss Spoonie. I often wonder why he called himself Spoonie when he's not a Final Fantasy fan, because when I first heard the name I assumed it was a reference to FF4, but, well, as I said, he's not an FF fan really, so, I don't know. Geez, what should I go with? Honestly, I kind of like the cannons. I'm just going to get 2 more cannons. And I'm going to make them hit harder. We need to make the orcs go splat. Alright, you know what? Fine. I'll take a hit point boost. I don't know. It seems like a waste of points, but it's cheap, so I'll take it. All right. We will see. I'll give you one more Cannon o' Doom. And since this side is still dying, I suppose I could put a cannon here. Alright, let's see what was happening on this side. Those cannon shells, they mess the enemy up, don't they? Look at this, I can almost completely handle one side of the battlefield. But not quite. Maybe I should take more mortar upgrades. Honestly, it's my only real AoE right now. The cannons hit multiple foes, but this is my AoE. What am I doing? As the enemies get more and more numerous, this can only become a bigger and bigger deal. Bigger radius, more damage. I mean, that's just splat. Yeah, I'm gonna move this cannon. I'm gonna start moving these. I'm gonna probably, you know what? I'll probably take one mortar and put it here. I'm gonna steal one of the mortars and the cannon. They're still getting through, even with the extra mortar power. Oh, stop them! Alright, mortar fire rate? Alright. That should make a difference. Alright, hold on. First, this can just go away. I'll put that here with the rest of them. Cannons. And I'm stealing one mortar, which is going to dramatically alter the whole thing on that side, but hey. The more I scatter them at first, the sooner those turrets can come into play. Okay, yeah, I think this is going to make just putting that one mortar there is going to be huge. Yeah. That mortar is doing so much work. You know what I need? I need to unlock another mortar. Yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to put a second mortar up here. Into this crowd. We're not even close yet. So many more. Oh, I know the origins of his name. We were playing Baldur's Gate 2. More mortars. Okay, that'll. I don't know that the fragment counts really matter. Alright, I'll take some missile upgrades. Oh, hey, there's a cannon range upgrade. Oh, sure, why not? Okay. Alright, hold on. I'll catch up with chat in a second. I need a mortar here. And you know what? I'm going to put this one back. Okay. Well, he's still around. Yeah, it's... I mean, I've been hoping for a long time that he'd... Well, I just hope he gets better, you know, whether or not he makes more content. He had a lot of fun videos back in the day. If I had known about his Ultima series when they were coming out, I would have totally done something with that grass. Alright, let's see. Keep going. No, we're just going to keep this running. I'm going to read chat for a minute. Yeah, the orcs slow down a lot in the bottlenecks, which is great for the mortar locations. Alright, what are we going to do with them? Most of them are coming from our first choke point. The cannons are just not cutting it. I've known this whole time I'm going to have to move some of the machine guns over. Honestly, we're not doing too bad. We're getting most of them. Shit, I'm going to try to upgrade the mortars again. Why even use anything else? The mortars do it all. Alright, we have a good treasury here. More mortars. More mortars. Mortar fire rate. Yeah, sure, I have another fragment. Shoot more missiles. What is this? Strafing gun. Call it an airstrike! I know what I'm unlocking next. Close air support. Alright, I have unlocked 2 additional mortars. I'm going to put one of them right in the middle of our gauntlet of machine guns. I'm going to steal 1 machine gun away. I'm just going to point it this way for the moment, which might be unimaginative, but yeah, it's going to take out some orcs. Alright, I'm going to add in another mortar here. Alright, this might be where things start to change. This might be the tipping point. One got through. And I have trouble aiming the missiles, apparently. Alright, they're starting to get through. But 3 mortars, plus the cannons, and now this 1 machine gun, it's doing a lot. Okay, meanwhile, on this front, not a lot of them are getting through now. That extra mortar seems to be doing the work. We're still not going to win. My gosh, they're still coming. I think at this point we can think about putting a gun at the exit. If I can get a couple guns at the exit, a couple guns here might honestly be enough. Can I get another gun? Well, that's a different matter now, isn't it? Yes. Okay, alright, 3 more machine guns. We've been ignoring the poor machine gun for a while. Alright, we've increased its range, its damage, its fire rate. And most importantly of all, its numbers. I just don't... Jeez, where do I even... Alright, we know they're going to pass through here. Alright, I'll put 1 sweeping there. Okay, and we know they're going to come... Alright, like this. Alright, now you have to deal with all of that. this lane has been more of the problem the whole time. Alright, we've got a few stragglers getting through. I want to see how the turrets interact with them. Alright. So here they come. The first ones. Deleted. Destroyed. Gone. They're not getting through. Just those last three oh no, one. Got him. Alright, we just need to make sure nobody gets through. Can we perfect this stage? Yes, we can. Those last few guns make all the difference. We either lose or we get a perfect victory, huh? Oh no, come back! Ah shit, well, we're not getting any more cubes. Okay, I spoke too soon. I need more Taka! Are we even gonna win? Yeah, we're gonna win. We're absolutely gonna win. But it's closer than I'd like. Ever play the Warrior Wizard Ranger tower defense game? I'm not sure. I have not played very many tower defenses. Airstrike. I mean, I want to kind of go all in on the airstrike. But before I do that, I need another gun. Okay? And I need the mortars to be even bigger and splodier. Okay? Alright, maybe just a little bit on this strafing run. Oh, shit. Wait, a new level. Oh my gosh, this looks complicated. I want to go back and get my cube, but maybe just we'll just take a look at this. Okay, well, geez, this one might require some, thought. We'll just throw down a bunch of crap in the middle and just kind of see how things go. Add a couple of these cannons, which I probably need to put more upgrades on because the cannons are kind of lackluster right now. Alright, we know they're going to try to come through here. And we know they're going to try to come through there. So, I mean, how many orcs can there possibly be? Okay, 2 more cannons. Let's put 1 more in the middle. I have a feeling that this is going to be where most of them are going to go. Alright, past that, a couple more machine guns over here. I don't know if this is really the best place. If I analyze this, I can probably find a better choke point, but my gosh, I mean, look at all this crap. No, let's put more guns at the front. Shoot at orc. Just generally shoot in their direction, okay? Alright, let's see how they actually spawn. Oh, yeah, it's just a way. Okay, it's just everywhere. The cannons might actually do well here. Okay. Oh, I see. airstrike's okay. I think it's going to completely supplant the missiles once I put some more upgrades on it. That's what I think's going to happen. Alright, I'm going to up your damage. I'm going to up your fire rate. I'm going to not care really about your range. There were more missile upgrades. But I just don't see myself using the missile anymore with the airstrikes. I want to upgrade the mortars. Alright, let's go with the cannons for the next couple rounds here of upgrades. Alright, we got one more turret. I'll just put it there. Oh, that's not quite right. Okay. No, you're not getting away. Zoomed out as much as I possibly can here. Do not want you guys getting through. Alright, here we go. You know, the airstrike's gonna need some upgrades! Okay, got him. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get my cube. What's really annoying about the missiles is it tends to scatter the orcs, and it tends to sometimes make them run faster, which is a huge problem. Okay, cube acquired. What's this? Lasers, not implement. Doggone it. You're just teasing me. Alright. Oh no, there's nothing I've unlocked that I can spend the cube on. Alright, well. Alright, well, we're going to focus on the cannons for a little bit. They've been lagging behind our other tools. Alright, let's try to analyze this. And get better at using these. Okay, so honestly, they're coming through all three. Like, my stuff isn't stopping them at all. I just need more mortars. Or cannons or anything shooting into this crowd. Literally anything shooting into the crowd will do more damage. Or we could focus... Alright, I can see several things I can do. More cannons. Alright, first thing we're going to do, you know what, we're thinking about this wrong. It's not about killing orcs. It's about not letting orcs get through, which is a completely different thing. Okay. So here's how it's gonna look. We're going to push you back. All right. Okay, that's the limit on those. Alright. Now, whatever makes it through the explosions has to be stopped. And that's where the problem is, because there's so many directions they can scatter into. Alright. After we analyze how the enemy moves through this gauntlet, well, we can figure out where to go from there. Man, I wish I had flamethrowers. That's fine, though. It's fine. I'll put one back here. Maybe catch ones that stray that way. This is mirrored, so it's not so bad as if it were just completely random. As for the last turret, just stick it that way. Alright. Airstrike definitely needs some upgrades. Alright, so the buildup is going to get worse in the back. But you can already see, like, the massive amount we've cut down. We've massively cut down the flow. In fact, if I were to... Look at this. They all pass through these two narrow points here. Well, you know, most of them go through these two narrow points here. So if I were to get a couple more turrets to put back there... Oh shit, here's a couple more turrets. Alright. Maybe that'll do. There's so many directions I could go. I feel like the mortars really are the key right now. Like everything relies on the mortars. Alright. Alright, 2 additional cannons. One here. One here. Alright, let me try to catch up on chat now. Lasers. Yeah, we're gonna have... I don't know when I'm gonna get to Xenonauts 2, but I gotta at some point. This map looks like it's chiseled out by aliens. You pick a class and start with that guild's units. Yeah, Creeper World, that's on our to-do list this year. GitHub had another security problem. Okay, GitHub is such a pain in the ass to work with. Not related to orcs. Alright. We're only getting about halfway through. Part of me just wants to go more cannon. Alright, let's go look at the mortars. Hit harder, bigger explosions. Maybe I'm using the wrong strategy, I don't know. But that's the best I was able to come up with. Alright. The harder the mortars hit... Yeah, I think I need to just make the mortars hit harder. The explosion radius is doing pretty good on the sides. The middle, it could be bigger. I think I just need to up the mortar damage so less things get through. Then maybe I'll put everything into strafing and just do a whole bunch of air support on this crowd in the back. So tempting just to focus on blasting this mass. They're getting through every single lane still. Alright, you up the damage. You up the firing rate. Well, that's just a force multiplier to everything the mortars do. Okay. Oh man, I can feel the difference. Look at how few orcs are getting through compared to what it was like a minute ago. I mean, they're still getting through. We're still going to lose, but... yeah, the fire rate and damage upgrade just changed it. Honestly, they're coming through all three kind of evenly. Somehow I've evenly distributed it. Okay, I can see the cannons really working over here. They're not bad. The cannons are actually pretty good. I'm going to take more mortar fire rate. Oh, hey, bonus resources. Oh, why the hell not? It's cheap. Alright. We're going to start taking the strafing upgrades. That'll be the next thing we do. Alright. Less and less shit's getting through. On the next round of strafing upgrades, this should become way deadlier. Maybe if I put them like this? Maybe. That might make sense. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Born of Fire. I have not. Alright, here we go. Explosions. Cooldown. Bullet count. Damage. Width. Okay, we should see a dramatic improvement in the aircraft. So the old missiles, we're done with them. Man, I can feel that increase in width there. I can feel the increase in power. I'm not even going to try to slow the flow down. I'm going to try to get maximum kills so we get more resources to buy more stuff. Maybe that's what I should have been doing the whole time. I don't know. But this is doing a lot of damage to the orcs. Every pass just wipes out a huge number. Doesn't even matter which way I point it, it's going to do damage. See, I think we want to increase the, I think we want to decrease the cooldown. When this game gets finished, it's going to be really cool. Okay, we're getting way more resources now. Let's see. I'll increase the width. I'll increase the damage. I'll increase the bullet count. I don't really see explosions in it. I'll take your word for it that they're there, but I don't really see them. I didn't decrease the, I mean, it's so hard now. But I need to decrease the duration. It pushes them back, too. Which is going to be useful when we want to, actually use it defensively. I think this is massively increasing our income. I think we need golden orcs, man. I think that was the thing we really needed. I mean, I know the flamethrowers sound like the most fun thing, but just the enemies randomly dropping money would have probably been better. Okay, let's see. Decrease the cooldown. You know what? Make it even wider. Alright, that's gonna be the. We're gonna stop on the strafing after this and go back to trying to win. This is basically built for this stage, though. The way the enemies are. Alright. Do some damage. I think we'll go for cannons next. It's so easy to screw up the strafe direction, by the way. This is just annihilating them. I mean, I swear every time it passes, you can see this tick up on enemies killed. Alright, what I'd really like to do is get a few more turrets in the back. Maybe build a wall. You know, a wall might be a great thing to have. Okay, no more strafing, no more strafing. Alright, do we want... I'll up the mortars first. Alright. We're going to up the mortars one more time after this, because they're the stars of the show. And then we'll see what we can do. Alright. The mortars are upgraded. We're going to try pushing the enemy back this time. We got them back. I think I just focused on the middle lane with the strafes. Should I take these cannons out and put them back here? Maybe. Maybe. I feel like having more of them in the back is creating pressure to push them forward faster. The physics of this... Well, we'll see. Alright. Okay. This is a... Oh! Wait, no, right, not implemented, that's why. Yeah, of course. I'll take some hit points. Alright, we're gonna focus probably on the, we'll go with the machine guns next. I've got a lot of machine guns. Alright, the mortars should be way deadlier now. If I could get another mortar, that'd be great. I think a lot less of them are getting through. when the cannons get their shots lined up just right. You know, this might be winnable. Maybe not this run, but next. Maybe. Man, I want one or two more mortars. Okay, things are getting hairy. They didn't change. They seem, each one of them seems to be dedicated to their pathing. But we're getting close. Man, I would not like another mortar. All right, let me go with, okay, that's an end. Bullet penetrate. Oh, shit. Yes. Okay. Alright. Those boring old machine guns are about to become a lot more interesting. A lot more interesting. Bullet penetration, I've basically just tripled the power of the machine guns. Like, holy crap. Because, I mean, with so many orcs, how can you not get through 3 of them? Alright, let me see. Okay. Yes! Game recommendations? I have a thread in Discord for that. This year's the year of the RTS, though, so... RTSs, tower defenses, stuff like that. I think Balloons is on that list of things. Is the music completely overpowering my voice? Nobody said anything about that before. Hands of War? We must diminish the orcs' production. We will send them contraceptives. Alright. It's not going to be a victory this time, but it's close. It's so close. You know, I don't think the size of the... Oh, we're actually going to win! I don't think the size of the orc has any impact on how much damage they do. Alright! Holy shit, we're on the last level. And the cubes don't do anything, so there's no reason to perfect that yet. Well, I mean... I'm going to take penetration again. I'm going to take firing rate. We'll have a look at the cannons again soon. I want laser towers. I want flamethrowers. Yeah, okay, alright. Well, We're running up against the limits of what there is in this demo. Oh, shit, now it is random. Okay, it's a cave. It's a big old cave. I don't... I kind of just want to see how they flow through it before I decide what I'm going to do. So, I'm just gonna throw a bunch of crap at them and then see what happens. Is that 120,000 of them? 120,000. Sir, that might be a problem, sir. Anyway. Once we see how the fluid flows, we're gonna pick points where it slows down. And then we'll set our turrets up there. Alright, it's finale time. Putting all my guns at the start here. None of this should... actually, I should have spread those mortars out more. Oh, well. Alright. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. Okay. There's free flowing. Nothing's interfering with them. And then they bash themselves here. Okay. I see. It's like a green bloodstream. Really, there's not a lot of them going up there. Here. I think right around here. All right. Let's see what we can do. There'll be some that get around this, but we can work with that. Okay. Here. This area. Okay. All right. I'll tweak this after I see it in action. All right. As for these, okay, all right. Just fan it. All right. Honestly, this lower area might be easier to deal with than the upper area. Finally, we have the cannons. The cannons really want to penetrate a bunch of enemies. what? I'm just going to keep putting the cannons here. This will be the cannon location. We're going to tweak it further based on what we get from this. Okay. Might as well do this. Once they get closer, though, I'm going to just leave missiles on or something. Or maybe just not even bother clicking. I want to just see and tweak my defenses according. Look at how much they congest in some of these places. But our objective isn't to kill the maximum number of orcs, it's to prevent any orcs from getting to the end. Which might sound like the same thing, but it's not. Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay, there's a lot of them getting through up here. I'm going to have to put some stuff up here then. Yeah, okay. Huh. All right. All right, let's see what we can do here. We're going to end up moving some of those cannons up there. That's what's going to happen. Okay. We're going to move some cannons, specifically... Alright, I'm going to move 4 of them. So... we've upped their penetration and everything. I really want to put one here facing this way, but I can't. I can't just set them there. So I'll do this here. All right. Stronger cannons! Yeah, our defenses can't quite handle 120,000 yet. I could really use some barbed wire. Maybe some landmines. Yeah, it's never going to be enough landmines for this. You know, actually, it wouldn't be bad to put landmines in the game. Because you could play, they'd be one use, but if only a few orcs are getting to the end, those few orcs hit the landmines. Okay. Our new cannons are having quite the impact over here. All those orcs that were getting through before are being really broken by the cannons. Nothing's gotten through the gauntlet down south yet. No worries there. Yeah, holy shit. This is pretty good. Oh no! One of them gets through! We haven't gotten a perfect score yet. Give me a second. Oh no. Well, we're still gonna lose because eventually... Oh, they're starting to get through down there too now. Okay, we'll probably move those two. I can see several ways I can optimize this. Alright, Cannons fire faster, hit harder, shoot further, why not? When you've got piercing, the shoot further makes more sense to me. Alright. Alright. I'm going to take you three, I'm going to reposition you. Alright. I think I'm just going to put you like this. I really want more firepower on this side too, though. And I'm going to put one of you here. Alright. Alright. I don't know why. There's got to be a way you can automate the missiles while doing the strafing. Give the missile upgrades. Give all the missiles to the plane so they fly through and drop the missiles. So your missile upgrades aren't wasted. Yeah. Yeah, we might do a few more one-offs in the not-too-distant future. Alright, we do not want this to coagulate into, congeal into something again. Let's just keep hitting it. Maybe we need more mortar upgrades. Machine guns and cannons are really what stop them from getting through. But the mortars are what breaks them. Yeah, when all the I can really see when this game is finished, it's going to be a ton of fun. I mean, it's enjoyable in this state when so much of it's unfinished. Okay. Alright. More resources. And we're not. Okay. Could up the strafing power, the missile power, or, man, even a single mortar upgrade would bankrupt me. I'm gonna take mortar fire rate. And I'm gonna start upgrading the gunners. Man, the missiles had like a heck of a lot of upgrades on them. Alright, mortars do more damage. The mortars can never do enough damage. There's super. What is the game? Planetarium? It's a trap. Do not buy. Yes. That is... Alright. I'll talk a little bit. So you've probably heard of Kyoto Animation with their works like Canon and stuff like that. Clannad. Yes, I discovered it back when I was like a teenager with no idea that these animes were actually traps designed to make you weep. It was like, oh, well, this is interesting. Oh, hey, this is some kind of supernatural mystery or something going on. A lot of slice of life. I don't think slice of life was talked about back then as being a thing yet. Well, so turns out that they were making those anime were based on a game company called Key that made visual novels, basically. Right? This is the kind... Planetarium is one of the games made by Key. They're a company that said at one point, if we can't make people cry, we'll go out of business. Or something like that. They, it's what they do. They're very good at it. In Planetarium, you're in a post-apocalyptic world, and your main character, it's more of a story, not really a game. Think of it as a story, not a game. So, this guy, he's raiding an old ruined city. He's in a planetarium, and there's a still functional robot there. And pretty much anything else I could say would be spoilers, but I've already told you the big one. They're gonna make you cry. That's what their company is literally designed to do. That's why I say it's a trap, don't do it. Is literally their business model. I think they're still in business. Key. They were a very big name in Japanese. Actually, the entire story of visual novels is fascinating as a genre. So, geez, to explain it, you have to start with Japanese computers. Japanese computers are completely alien to the rest of the world's computers. So, to the point where it's still difficult to emulate PC-88 and PC-98 games because of just how incompatible their stuff is. But the simplest, quickest, dirtiest explanation I can give is the alphabet in Asian countries is extremely complex and detailed. Early computers didn't really have the kind of graphics to display images that were so complex as their writing system. This was a big problem if you wanted to own computers for your business in Asia. So, the Japanese developed computers that were really good at producing high detailed images so that they could do their writing system. But this came at a cost. The computers the computers traded a lot of power to do that, is the short version. So now you've got these computers that can produce really good images, but they're not very good for making games like, what you'd expect with a lot of action going on and stuff. Things that you'd normally expect, like platformers and things. They're not great at that kind of stuff. Right? So put a pin in that, because we're going to have a few more things to talk about before we get back to that. So next, you have the company trying to sell these computers to the public. How can we convince the public businesses are buying our computer, but how do we get regular people to buy our computers? They just don't see a need for them at this point in time. Personal computers are new. They're not ubiquitous yet. So they decide to pay a bunch of famous authors to write a bunch of books that will only be available on the computer. Your favorite author is writing a book, but you can't read it unless you buy a whole computer to read the book. Yeah, it sounds like kind of a dick move, but whatever. It worked. So people bought these computers and they read books on them. All right, everything's going along swimmingly so far. But then, some companies are like, well, what if we made more books? What if we just made books on the computer? What if we put it's not a piece of paper anymore. It's a computer. We could put sound effects in there. And thus came the sound novels, not audiobooks. That would have been too much, you know. Computers back then didn't do so good with full voices, you know. But sound effects were fine. You could put in ambient rain, a lightning strike, different things. And somebody was like, you know, we could start putting in images, maybe even, you know, a little bit of animation. I mean, I don't want to get too fancy here, but you know, and because they have this culture, they have this aspect that nobody else had in their culture, nobody in the West did, of having being into reading on a PC. This stuff kind of evolved naturally. So now you developed the visual novels, and that, you know, well, you could put branching paths in those, you know, like a choose your own adventure thing. A computer'd be way better at that than you know, something like buying The Adventure of White Plume Mountain as a choose your own adventure, having it actually on a PC. We could go further. And this kind of naturally led into things like dating sims, which the West had no context at all for how, you know, you just looking at the end product, you're like, a dating sim? What the fuck? What? Video games are Mario and Command and Conquer. Like, what's going on over there? But it makes perfect logical sense to follow the chain of what was going on over there. So, I don't know. I find that stuff interesting. You had some interesting key players in the scene, companies that did a lot of the early stuff and defined things. A lot of it was coming out of kind of the indie community as well, at conventions and stuff. If I zoom out, I don't get the sound effect. But if I zoom in, I get all the squishy sound and see all the orc bodies all over the ground. I think I might upgrade the strafing next. Yeah. And then you started getting shit like Fate, which was actually, I believe Fate started out as a dating sim? No, it was a visual novel of some kind. But dating was an aspect of it. I'm sure of that. Actually, I think a lot of them were adult. Because again, they were able to do, like, you look at the PC 88 and PC 98 games, and the graphics on them are way in excess of anything Western computers could do at the time. Because again, that's what the machines were really good at. But yeah, they made a lot of adult games with that. I don't think anything's getting through the southern one. I might even be able to steal one of those guns and put it in the north, maybe. Maybe this one. I don't know. It seems like all the trouble's happening up here. I just need another turret up here. It's just the turrets aren't well oriented here. I just want you to stop making it through this spot. Did Squaresoft really start out as a visual novel company? No, here, I'll catch up in chat in a second. I'm just going to keep increasing your firing rate. Alright, I'm stealing this one and putting it up here. That should help a little bit. Alright, let me see. Oh, hey, Sup, how's it going? Yeah, visual novel, well, A kinetic novel is more of a novel than a game. Visual novels can get very video game. They can do a lot that's video gamey with them if they want to. Um, but yeah. Yeah, I had no idea Squaresoft started out as visual novels. I was a huge Squaresoft fan, man. I loved Final Fantasy and man, when Square Enix happened, when they became Square Enix, there was a lot of loss. Like somehow the games just became a lot less good at that time, and they still have some hits from time to time, but yeah. Alright, so I stole one of your guns. You still seems to be pretty good in the south. Let's see how much that extra gun does for us up here. We're close to beating the game. We almost done it. I think that towards the end here, it's really slowed down. It needs to, instead of, we need more types of turrets, and we need more types of enemies, I think. A boss enemy that comes stomping in, stuff like that. But as I've mentioned a few times, it's early days for this game. Alright. We might be able to win if I upgrade strafing a bit more. We're close. It might not feel that way with, 66,000 enemies still alive on screen, but they're starting to get through. Maybe a little bit more firing rate. Alright, I've almost maxed out the machine guns. Cannons have a lot of ways they could, well, actually no, not much. There's not much I can do for the cannons either. The mortars have a lot of, yeah, okay, we're gonna get the mortars some more upgrades. I think the mortars, as I've stated before, are king. If I up their radius and their explosion damage, that'll probably do more than anything else. That'll be how we win. Then we'll consider the strafing. 2027 be the year. Unlikely. Unlikely. Sony and Nintendo raising prices on console will push the Japanese to PC. Who knows? The PCs are more expensive too, though. It's got to do with parts. Yeah, I should have upgraded the mortars a while ago. I don't know why I got fixated on the machine gun. I was too busy doing story time. Alright. We are doing meat processing at this point. We're not even having a war anymore. We're just processing orc meat. I think the orcs in 40k have an off switch. This is total theory crafting as somebody who's not even a 40k person. But it just makes perfect sense to me. They were an artificial race created for a war, right? Okay. You know, that makes sense. Oh, shit, they are getting to the south now. Well, would you create a weapon like that you couldn't turn off? Whether the off switch means they all pass out, or more likely they just become passive. But no, the people that made the orcs, they lost their war. They were wiped out and extinct. There's nobody they've been left in war mode for however many thousands of years, whatever absurdly long time frame it is, with nobody who can turn their war mode off. I also think the orcs in 40k are basically children. They just don't live long enough to grow up. In fact, it might even be that being in war mode prevents them from ever growing up properly. They probably have important functions, you know, that are just missing from their species. That's my theory. Fungicide. Oh, the Steam Machine is definitely a console. Oops, I messed that one up. New outfit, suit, tie, rose on my chest. No, if you do dating sims, you're going to end up with a contract from KFC. Alright, hopefully the mortars are going to do enough. I may have to reposition some of them or something. I'm not sure yet. I've largely been leaving the mortars alone, only repositioning the cannons and guns. I mean, they're clearing things out, but it sure would be nice to have a mortar right about here, wouldn't it? Alright. Nothing's gotten through yet. Maybe I should just spend the rest of the points on health upgrades and assume that'll be enough to get me the win. When you're up against like 100,000 enemies, it just feels like gaining 10 hit points is a waste of your resources. Would it be better just to have a gun kill 10 more orcs? Alright. We need ice turrets. Oh no! They got an enemy through! Ah, we're not going to get a perfect run. Not that I was expecting to. Even with the new mortar power, they're still getting through. But it's definitely alleviated a bunch of the pressure. Like, massively decreased the pressure of the enemies. We are really close to winning. Holy shit. Just an ocean of blood. It looks like it's turning into just a cracked lava land, but no, that's just orc bodies. Heh. Flash was so good. There's still no product that does what Flash did, somehow. Somehow. Really? Japan has bad internet? You're kidding. No way. How? Yeah, the pressure's definitely alleviated. Look at this. We're almost through. I think we're gonna get the win. Ah. Well, shit. I wasn't expecting a win. Huh. What do you think we need to get a perfect victory to finish this off? Upgrade the mortar explosion size, perhaps? More upgrades to the guns and cannons? I wish I could spend my circles and squares, but I can only spend my diamonds. Let's take, I'll take mortar fire rate. And I'll take explosion damage. We can also upgrade the strafing. Okay, we basically, there's 2 more for the guns. As for the cannons, I don't think the cannons are very important, to be honest. I think that the guns are more important. I want lasers. We'll definitely come back to this game sometime when it's finished. I think this last stage doesn't yeah, the game could definitely use some more work. It's definitely spent way too long on this last stage. Maybe with better placement I could have done better. I don't know. Orcs go squish. Orcs go splat. I have to say, though, in terms of numbers, this game has taken it to an extreme. The sheer number of objects this game can handle is kind of mind-bending. Alright. Now, the real problem are the ones that come along. Because basically what I've done is I've got the mortars completely chewing up the main body of the enemy, and we're just dealing with the ones that go out, that are drawing outside the lines, essentially. Essentially. Yeah, I wish that we would still get games on CDs or on frickin' jump drives or something, given the file sizes of some of these things. I think that online gaming is about to have kind of a crash, particularly the competitive online gaming. I don't know what things are going to look long term, but at least for a while, we might go back to using LAN. Ah, shit. Yeah, they're still getting some through. I think we might, at least in the short term, go back to LAN parties, potentially. My logic is that botting has become way too good. Bots just keep becoming better and better. And I think that especially competitive games are going to be absolutely ruined by it. Huh. We won last time. I pay less attention and we lose. That's fine. Alright, increased fire rate. That's a lot. Sure, I'll give you a range upgrade. Alright. Increasing firing speed. console is much better for playing game than the PC. I mean, I liked my consoles. I really did. If they hadn't made a bunch of decisions I really didn't like, I'd probably keep buying consoles. The price doesn't even offend me the way it seems to offend other people. I mean, it's definitely a decision, like, do I really want to spend this much money? I don't know. But, no. It's the really stupid decisions. Let's see what happens if I don't run anything over here and see how it flows. But yeah, well, I've said it a bunch of times. They just don't, they decided that you don't own your own machine. The anti-modding stuff bugged me a lot, because it's like, I bought this machine. If I decide I want to mod this machine, that's my business. But this nonsense where they can ban your account for any number of reasons, they can brick your console remotely. I am not buying something that somebody else can just break. Like, that's insane. That's nuts. Why would I do that? Would you buy a car? That actually, the way things are going, yeah, people are going to be forced to buy cars that can be turned off remotely. Police departments really like the idea that they should have a button to turn your car off. And manufacturers are going, well, yeah, sure, we could do that. But the DLCs for cars is so offensive. You've got to have heard about these by now, right? Oh yeah, no, oh wow, one of them got through there. The idea that they can just, oh, you want your car to go a little faster? Pay us $10 a month. What's that? You want your heated seats? Well, that's $5 a month. And then you can have heated seats. It's like, you bastards. No. No, I'll find something older. I keep hoping that the 3D printer thing will actually kick off with metal. That we'll just be able to print objects. And then you'll just go online. People will have optimized all the different 3D models that make the objects. They'll be like, yes, here's a car. Here's all the parts to build this car. It's not owned by any particular company, so there's no patents or copyrights to worry about. Just print out these pieces and assemble them like so. I keep hoping that that'll become our world. But somehow it keeps not happening. It's almost as if there's a vested interest in seeing that that doesn't happen. I wish I could put a little more piercing on the cannons. They're pretty cool. But again, I really feel like just their firing rate is the problem. They just don't compare to the machine guns. And since the machine guns have piercing as well, it just makes me wonder why the cannons even exist. You know? We're reaching a point where if I don't do anything, we can still win. Maybe all that investment in strafing was a mistake. If GOG could offer a land service, that would be pretty cool, yeah. Manufacturers want more money. Oh, hey, Floof, how's it going? Don't even buy a Tesla. It's... See, I've watched too many videos on different things, and every time somebody messes with a Tesla, it's like, yeah, so if I slam the door really hard, crunch, and then they open it up and they've broken the car. And it's like, you can't do that to a normal vehicle. Like, they'll test it against, like, another just truck or something, and you'll be like, what the hell? And I mean, you know, you want to take these kind of things with a grain of salt, but I don't know. Too much of it, just too many. Yeah, they just look like they're poorly made. I suspect what happened was the man, he decided to reinvent the wheel, and you know, rather than use an existing design for a car and start there, he decided to build everything from the ground up. And of course you're going to have all kinds of manufacturing issues if you try to reinvent everything. That's what I expect happened. I'm not even necessarily opposed to the idea of an electric car, but the battery life, how far you get, there's just a lot of issues that I feel like the tech isn't quite up to it yet. It's like Apple. Yeah, I can see that. I can see what you mean by that. People are there for the brand. All right. I think we're probably going to see... You know, it's sad to go back to the missiles after investing so much, but our objective here is to only kill the handful of orcs that get through. I just want my perfect victory. So, the missiles mostly just scatter the enemy, which at the moment I think is what we want. I think we're gonna get it. I think we're gonna get the perfect victory here. Part of the problem with this particular map is that they're able to accelerate towards the end, which will make it harder to catch them. It'll make it harder to catch them, but you're supposed to be using the airplane anyway, so... No! Ah! They got a hit. They got a hit on me! Alright, we'll let it finish out. Darn. Almost! I think I'm going to reposition... What would I even put it, though? This cannon is... I'll just point it up. That might be enough. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, we'll point that cannon up. We'll, I think I'm going to narrow the firing range on this one. And between those two things, we'll... plus whatever upgrade we pick up, will probably be good. I just want to increase the strafing levels, even though I don't think they'd help, just because airstrikes are fun. I don't honestly believe that the solar car would work. Yeah, Schneider did the math on how much energy that the cars actually use and what you'd need to put in a car to get a perpetual motion car, basically, using some different stuff. power, how you generate it's a little complicated. But solar wasn't the answer at all. It was some combination of other things and solar, but it didn't look like the math worked. You'd have to ask him for details. But I honestly don't think the solar car would work. It's okay to run it for so many hours and then let it recharge, but yeah. The problem with solar is it's not very good on the surface of the planet. Solar is absolutely the future when we're in space. In space, solar is so incredibly efficient. But on the surface of the planet, so much sunlight is lost just in the atmosphere. And then you have to worry about day and night and all these, clouds, everything else. But there's a ton of options for energy generation. Okay, alright. Let's get this. Let's get this win. Alright, I'm going to choose... I'll make the cannon shoot faster. Hit harder. Okay, there you go. Those can shoot further too. Why not? Okay, 2 changes. 2 adjustments. Cannon. Cannon go up. Okay. You there. Tighten that. I'm going to tighten you as well. There's not enough orcs getting through to warrant these wide ranges. There used to be a whole lot more orcs getting through. You know what, I'm just going to leave everything else as is. That should be enough. I'm sure that's enough. I think. We're going to get our perfect victory. Probably. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Actually, one of the biggest problems with solar panels is that people buy shitty ones. There's a world of difference between a quality solar panel and a garbage solar panel. Unfortunately, there's a lot of garbage solar panels. Solar panels where it's like it loses, I forget what it is, but it loses like, I'm going to have to pull the number out of my butt because I don't remember the number, but let's go with like 16% of its power production is lost after 1 week. Like, it was just... And that's... The majority of solar panels were doing that. It's like, what? There's just tons of issues. And solar panels, most of the solar panels produced are super toxic. I mean, that's a weird thing to say, but yeah, they leak chemicals and crap into the ground after they break down. They get dumped and they have, crap in them. They don't last long. Like a good solar panel can last a really long time, but the crappy ones will break and stop functioning just after a few years. As I've said, if you're a company or a government or whatever and you want the PR of having lots of solar panels, you need the photo shoot with lots of solar panels. As many solar panels as your dollar can buy. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Ah, shit. Doggone it. We are so close. That's infuriating. Well, we can buy a few more upgrades. I'll get serious with the aircraft on the next run. Two of them. Well, actually, only one of them got through. One got through! Toyota's most advanced design generate enough power to run air conditioning. Okay. It can run an air conditioner. But can it drive non-stop? There's not a lot of surface area on a car. That's not a lot of solar panel space. It really isn't. Things always do great in the lab and in testing. And then you manufacture it, and for some reason it doesn't work out that way. I'll put it this way. I'll believe it when I see it. People are weird about solar panels, too. They expect solar panels to be magic and produce way more energy than they do. Yeah, I think it's just one freaking orc got through. That is so frustrating. Come on. That's just annoying. Again, I wish I had a few landmines over here. Don't give me extra health. Give me a minefield. Alright, I think we're done here. Suppose I could redesign everything. Move all the turrets. Maybe. But I'm feeling lazy. Alright, where's the last living orc? There's 2 orcs somewhere. Sir, we've misplaced 2 orcs. We don't know where they are. We broke the game! It didn't give me the prize. Shit, I was gonna get one last cannon upgrade. Or maybe mortar upgrade. There's some more explosion damage. No, it's fine. If I just focus, if I turn away from chat for a minute and just focus, I can soften them up. Yes. Got orc bodies all over the place. We want the birds to feed well everywhere. You might think we're here to stop the orcs, but we're really here to just feed the birds. That's our real job. The carrion birds who are looking awful hungry. We're taking pity on them. Alright. Alright, yes, we're taking this seriously. All is well. And if this doesn't do it, I'll up the mortar damage. Assuming it doesn't get stuck again. They're not making it through my meat grinder. A lot of them are actually going up from down below. That's weird. I wish I could put some more turrets here. I think that's what the game mostly needs, is more turrets, less power on the turrets. Maybe some restriction to how closely you can pack them. I think that would do a lot for the strategy. A higher number of less powerful turrets, spaced further apart. Okay, now it's getting serious. All the enemies are on screen at this point. Although it doesn't feel like it. Okay. Push! Okay, yeah. Well, I'm worried I'm going to scatter them, make them move faster in the direction I don't want them to go fast. Ah, we're starting to see the end. So it turns out we're learning a lot about orcs today. Orcs can be compressed. All right. I would totally put flamethrowers at the start. Just every single orc on fire. It'd be so cool if the fire could spread from orc to orc. But I think the way the game's currently designed, that would end up being kind of stupid. Yeah, you can feel as the pressure alleviates, you can actually feel the pressure going down on the other side. Even though it's like a solid flow, when they're compacted together, it actually increases the speed of all of them. Which definitely could have the argument for putting some turrets further back that just exist to thin their numbers. Alright, after this we have to do one more thing. One more thing before we end. But we have gotten a perfect on this game. Well, go squish! Man, those mortars are ridiculous. There are only proper AoE. I think the shards actually are useful on them. Alright, there are 4 left, 1 left. Get them! Okay. And for our finale. There we go. Oh no. We seem to have misplaced all of our guns. Ready? I forgot how small this map was. Holy shit, the map is small! They can get to the end so quickly. Okay, this isn't working. No, we're gonna win. We are gonna win. Air superiority. All right. And just for the lulz, 1 turret. Just how strong is That's, yeah. Yeah, I think we may have upgraded the gun a few times. I don't know, man. It's, hmm. All right. Well, that's it. We've done all the things. Upgrades I didn't do. Believe it or not, the mortar fragments, uh, the mortar damage could have gone up. I pretty much ignored the hit point upgrades. There's like one cannon upgrade, and then there's a bunch of aircraft upgrades so that we could get more aircrafts and they could do more damage. And the missiles, and I feel like the missiles and the aircraft are incompatible. You can't really do both, so why would you upgrade both of them? If the missile, if, as I said earlier, if like you could somehow combine them, I guess that would be like the next big square upgrade down here somewhere, would be the planes would start firing the missiles or something. I don't know. Who knows? But that was fun. Tomorrow's a Genshin Day on Twitch, and then I'll probably put out. I'm thinking of doing a. Actually, you know what? No. Wait a minute. Tomorrow is a vote video for Master of Magic. It'll be a tournament. It'll be at the time I normally stream, and all it will be is I'm going to present 4 builds, 4 different builds for the worst wizard, for spell books and retorts. Then I'm going to pick the 4 races, the 4 builder races, nomads, orcs, high men, high elves, and we're going to pick which of those go with the bad build. And yeah, as I said, I think Wings is done, so probably the day after tomorrow, assuming nothing goes wrong and everything's working. Yeah, the day after tomorrow should be worst wizard time. And until next time and every time, this is Hadriex signing off. Bye. Hey, High Elf could. I don't think it will, but it could. There's an argument. They have a slow growth rate. They're missing a few of the good buildings. It could. It's not going to win. I mean, high men. Good grief. They have paladins. I'll make the argument. I'll make the case for each of them, but I think it's going to be either nomads or orcs. It's gonna be one of those two. It's gotta be either nomads or orcs. Both of them have their advantages, but no, we'll see what happens. Who knows? Bye.